Dammi le chiavi.
Impariamo l'italiano piano piano.
Un impegno quotidiano. Ciao a tutti e bentornati. Before we dive in, I want to share a quick update. If you've been following along with Le Pagine del Passato, our 10-part story, you might be wondering when Chapter 2 is coming out. Well, the answer is soon. But for just a short bit, I'm taking a pause from the story itself while I get organized for a companion series to the podcast. I want to make sure each episode has a companion set of documents, including learner guides providing extra practice on the vocabulary and grammar points covered in the episode. A leader guide, in case we have some Italian language trainers wanting to use the podcast in the classroom. And of course, answer keys for each guide. These will be included with the bonus episodes along with the usual introduction to upcoming vocabulary, words in context, recall exercises, mini quizzes, and interactive flashcards. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to catch up to where we are in the story. In the meantime, I'll be releasing some mini episodes that take a closer look at the language used not only in the story but also in the podcast itself. The expressions, the banter, and some of the trickier phrases that you might have heard along the way. We'll listen to a clip, we'll break it down, and then if you want to join in, you can record your voice using the link in the show notes. It's a great way to keep learning piano together. And you never know, maybe I'll use a clip of your voice in an upcoming episode. Just look for the Leave Me a Voice Message link that you'll find in the show notes, and you're on your way. Before we jump into today's Italian expression, I wanted to share something a little different. Recently, I had the pleasure of being interviewed by Dave Campbell, host of the How To Podcast show. We talked about the inspiration behind Impariamo l'Italiano piano piano, how the podcast blends storytelling with structure. I even had a moment of reflection about when Antonio, my ever-ready Italian narrator and sidekick, made his grand entrance. Here's a short excerpt from that conversation.
Everybody, welcome back to the How To Podcast series. Now, when somebody finds the show, it makes my heart dance a little bit, and I'm really excited because it's working. Whatever is happening here, it's working. And the beautiful thing about podcasting is you get to meet amazing new friends. And Myra is one of my new amazing friends. She has a podcast where it's going to help you learn Italian. So if you want to learn Italian from somebody who does it so well, then you found a great podcast to fall in love with. And I'm so excited to have Myra here as well on the show. Myra, buongiorno. Nice to have you here.
Buongiorno, grazie.
Hey, how's that? I practiced. I'm trying to impress the teacher. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm sucking up. It's good.
Dave,
Awesome.
it is a privilege and an honor to be your guest co-host here today. And I just want to say thank you to you for all that you do for us newbie podcasters trying to sort through this incredible maze of stuff that we need to figure out and make it happen.
You are a great member of the community, and I'm so glad you found us. Tell us about your show, Myra. Come on. Let everybody know what you're doing.
No problem. We learn Italian step by step, or Impariamo l'Italiano piano piano, un impegno quotidiano. So I was thinking, my husband could help me by recording some conjugations and so on and so on and so forth. But there is so much to do in a podcast, so much recording. It's not his project, it's my project. So I did bring him in and involved him a little bit, but I also decided I'm going to get a proper voice that I can write a script and have this voice. Good. So I do have some of that, what would you call it, artificial voice, synthetic voice. But how it happened is, I was doing the conjugations and maybe a little paragraph of a story with words in context and so on and so forth. And so I'd feed that script in, and then I'd bring that into the recording. And at one point, it was a, I've got the whole script. I've got my words and his words, and so at one point I said a little expression at the end. Ci sei, there you are. In other words, like, you got it. Well done, kind of thing. And on the recording, I that was my line, but this character, Antonio, actually said it, and then it came up into my ear, and I thought, this is a character. This can be a character that I interact with. Nice. And so I wove that character now in throughout, and it allows me to make fun of myself. Like, he can't stand to listen to my pronunciation of Italian. He has no patience with me and stuff like that. So, you can hear the full interview on Dave's show. I'll link to that in the show notes. Now let's get back to our Italian expressions. We're listening in on episode 0, where Antonio's true existence is coming into question. I've asked Antonio to speak at a more human speed. Here's the clip. Now, Antonio, let's try that again, but this time at a human speed, per favore.
Velocità umana? Cara Myra, insinui forse che io non sia umano?
Well, technically you are just a voice.
Solo una voce? Myra, che crudeltà.
Va bene. You are, have a very charming and sophisticated voice. But can we get back to the vocabulary in context?
Va bene, solo perché sono un professionista.
So here we have Antonio shocked that I called him just a voice. His response? Che crudeltà. What cruelty. Or we might say, how cruel. Let's break it down. Che plus noun is a really useful and expressive pattern in Italian. You can use it to show emotion, exaggeration, or just to react strongly. Let's take a look at some other examples of this construction. How do you think you might say, what luck? Che fortuna. What a disaster. Che disastro. How wonderful. Che meraviglia. What a day. Che giornata. And of course, what cruelty? Che crudeltà. If you'd like to practice any of these, or perhaps you can think of one that I haven't mentioned here, and if you're not adverse to publicly hearing your recording on the podcast, click the link in the show notes to send me a voice message and have a go at a recorded message. You don't need to create an account or jump through any hoops. How about we just have a little fun with this? Thanks for listening, and thanks for being a part of this Italian journey with me. If you'd like to hear the full interview with Dave Campbell, remember you can find the link in the show notes. And don't forget, if you'd like to try out any of the expressions from today's episode, or ask a question about something you've heard, I'd love to hear from you. Just head to speakpipe.com/WeLearnItalian and leave me a message. Who knows, your voice might make it into a future episode. Next time we'll listen to another memorable clip from the podcast and break down more real Italian, step by step. A presto, and as always, impariamo l'italiano, piano piano.
Tutti bianchi?
Arrivo, scusi, lei di dove? Di dove siete? Canada? Bravo! Due patatine. No, quel pilastro.